Merry Christmas to everyone watching this video right now. I'm not here to waste your time. Today, I'm going to walk you through why you are not reaching your financial goals with dropshipping. Let's get right into it so that you can make 2025 your year. All right, so let's start. So basically, how do you get to the point where every morning you wake up, you see Benjamin Franklin smiling at you? Well, the two steps that I was talking about are just getting traffic and then converting that traffic. So every time you don't know why your product failed or what to do next, you can basically think of e-commerce as a whole broken down into these two steps. You need to get people to visit your website, you need to get people knocking on the door, and then you actually need them to buy. If you have these two steps, right, and obviously there's a lot more to them, which I'm gonna get into in a second, but these two steps are basically it. If you have both of these or just one of these, then you're gonna know what to work on. And so that's why I kind of make this video right now, to give you a whole blueprint that you can follow so that you know which part of this process you lack and what you need to put more work into. And so let's actually start with the process of getting traffic to your website, right? And as you can see here, so this is kind of like how your creative system should look like. And on top of everything, there's the marketing angles. So this is not a product. We're not selling a product. We're selling to people. We're selling angles. All right, so you could sell one product to 5 different audiences that have nothing to do with each other. And so that's why, first of all, we need to identify what angles we're going to sell. And ideally, especially at scale, you want to have multiple of these angles that you will target, right? So we'll not only hit one angle and just like kind of not even know why you're doing it, you're just ripping the ads of your competition. No, you will actually go ahead and brainstorm, think of multiple angles that you can test the product with. And this is just, what is this going to do? Well, this is just going to increase the chances of your products hitting by a lot. All right, and then within each and every angle, there are a lot of ad concepts that you can choose from. And basically there's UGC, there's product showcase, there's founder ads, and there's offer focus ads. And for each of these, you can actually go ahead and make video and image ads. I want you to go ahead and make variations for all of these. And as you can see, this is a whole lot more complex than just going on, some bullshit research tool and just downloading and ripping ads from your competitors. And it's much more difficult than that. It takes much more planning, much more marketing skills, and also a lot more time to actually execute this. But I'm telling you, this is worth it, because at the end of the day, this is what you're gonna do when you're scaling too. You're gonna open up new angles, you're gonna choose the ad concepts, you're gonna make video and image ads, and then make a bunch of variations for your ads. And this is a process which is never ending. This is a system. This is a creative system. And the more you do this, the more you do from this, the more you will make. It's as simple as that. Your content is actually what scales. Your angles are what scale, not your product. You never will scale a product. You scale ads, you scale angles. A lot of people get into the game and kind of like expect this to be a quick money grab or to be some kind of like shortcut to quick cash and get all these strategies like selling reps or whatever it is, and that's so not true. That's so not really what it is. E-commerce is a whole entire business. You can make every product work. It just depends on how easy it is to sell. But after enough marketing, after understanding your target customers enough, you will be able to sell any product, especially with this strategy, with this system of creative, with this process of creatives. You should be able to make every product work. And then obviously this is not the whole thing. Once you have made these variations and you go ahead and test them, then you go ahead and throw them into an iteration process. And so what's super important about this is that every time that you test creatives, you don't want to find winning ads, right? Because that would be based off of luck. You want to have an ideal start when you test creatives, and then for every single testing round, you improve them, you track every metric possible, and you improve them, and you test again, and you retest, and you retest, and again, until you make your ad concepts and marketing angles profitable. And obviously, there's going to be ones which have better metrics than others, and so those are the ones which show more potential. Therefore, you should should focus on those and kind of improve those. However, you should never be satisfied with the performance of your ad. Even if it's already profitable, you can always get the CPCs down. All right, so this is something which you have to understand as well. Winning ads are not found, winning ads are being made profitable. All right, ads are being made winning. This is something which is super important. This is a process which is very plannable. And that was something which I struggled with a lot. When I got into the game of e-commerce, I thought, okay, I need to have a winning ad. But it doesn't work like that. You don't go ahead and test and then all of a sudden an ad works. Like, obviously you could go to the casino with that effort. So you have to go ahead, you have to have an ideal start, right, with some potential in the metrics that you actually test and track, and then you just go ahead and see where has your ad failed, and then retest, and then improve them, retest them, improve them, retest them until every one of your ads is profitable. And so this is really the whole process of iterations and making variations every single time. So this is the creative testing, right? So you test your creative, that is only the first step, and then you go ahead and track every metric possible. And this is really what you need to track, especially with video ads. So you need to track your hook rate, which is the first 3 seconds of your ad. Then you need to track how many people watch 25% of your video. Then you need to track how many people watch 50%, same thing for 75, and then the whole rate, which is how many people are watching your entire ad. And then out of these metrics, right, you're gonna get a CTR, a CPM, and then with these two, you can actually go ahead and calculate the CPC, how much you're actually at the end of the day paying for each and every click to your website. Always remember this, the more metrics someone tracks, right, the more you can tell how much they actually know what they're doing. And so if you track all of these metrics, let's say there's a big drop off between 25% video views and 50% video views. Well, then you know right here, there is something which is super boring and just not engaging enough for people to watch. So what do, you change up this part, you cut it out, you change it up, make it more engaging. You see why have people clicked off, what visuals have you shown, what text have you used, what voice have you used, what music have you used, all that kind of stuff. You can change 100 things, and so you can make 100 variations. And if you make 100 variations and retest this creative that, like, let's say showed potential in the hook rate, but here was the big drop off. If you test 100 different variations with this being better, then I'm telling you, you're gonna get a much higher CTR already with a better CPM, because your ad is more engaging and the ad platform will reward you with lower CPMs, and so your CPCs will be so much lower. And that's how you actually make ads profitable. Your ads goal should always only be to make people click on your website. The ads goal is never to sell anyone, to drive curiosity in the people so that they actually go ahead and click to your store. And so then once you have this, you have tracked your metrics, then you make the variations, and then you do the creative testing. And then it starts again. Then you track the metrics again. Let's say, okay, between 75% and 100%, there's a big drop off. Now you know you need to make variations here. You make variations and you test again. And you do this until your creatives are profitable and actually scalable and actually hold a lot of spend. This is it. This is the whole creative process. This is how brands work. This is how brands operate. And this is how you make a fuck ton of money with e-com, right? And so this is the first part. This is how you get traffic. Now let's actually look at what do you do with that traffic. And this is going to be a very simple breakdown. And even though it is a very short process of actually converting that traffic, it is still something which is very, very underrated and not talked about enough, because a lot of people say, oh, you need to have a beautiful website, you need to have, amazing product pictures, and all of that is not the case. If there's one thing that you have to focus on the most, it's your offer. Your offer is going to make or break the success of your store. And when it comes to your offer, there's basically just a couple of things which you can honestly do. And the first thing is understanding what makes the value of your offer. And there's this value equation from Alex Ramosi from $100 Million Offers. Basically, the value of your offer, right, comes down to the dream outcome that your offer promises times the perceived likelihood of achievement. How much do people think they will achieve that dream outcome that your offer promises if they take your offer, divided by the time delay that it takes them to reach that dream outcome times the effort and sacrifice that they have to do to actually reach that dream outcome. So ideally, if you present someone your offer, you should make them feel like they have an insane dream outcome. You want to maximize this and also maximize the perceived likelihood of achievement, so that they believe you that they themselves are going to reach that dream outcome. And then you want to minimize these two and actually go ahead and promise them or make them feel like there will be no time delay at all with achieving that dream outcome, and actually as a little sacrifice and effort as possible. And if you manage to actually make them believe this, then the value of your offer will be insanely good, and you will be able to charge 3-digit AOVs upfront with this in e-com. And this is how you scale like crazy. This is how you increase your AOV, by increasing your perceived value, understanding every single one of these variables in the value equation. And obviously there's a bunch of ways that you can do all of this. For example, the dream outcome, right? You showed it a little bit in your ads, but at the end of the day, the dream outcome is, comes down to your naming, comes down to actually showing great product images, actually showing a lot of reviews, selling people, basically viewing your whole website as a sales funnel, and every time they scroll, giving them one more little thing that makes them convert. Do you think it's just big brands just chat GPT their whole ad copy? Hell no. They have a thought through split tests, 100 split tests of different copies that they all have, and every time someone scrolls, he needs more information, and so they sell it a little bit more every time someone scrolls. This is just an example of the millions of things that brands do on their stores. But what you can also do is added a bunch of free gifts, for example, so that you make people feel, oh my god, I'm getting all of this, I will achieve this dream outcome will be insane, right? And the perceived likelihood of achievement, for example, the more social proof you have on your website, the more people will actually believe that they will achieve that dream outcome. That's just, again, one of the thousands of examples that you can do this with. Time delay, obviously, one very big thing is, when is this going to arrive in e-com, right? How fast is the shipping? And then effort and sacrifice, at the end of the day, how much will they have to do? For example, if you have a fitness product and you sell a supplement, then the only thing they have to do is take that supplement into their mouth. Not a lot of work in that. However, if you sell a push-up board or something which they have to use to train, the effort and sacrifice part will be a lot bigger, and so the value of your offer will be lower, because people will have to work more to actually reach that dream outcome. This is why supplements sell so well, because it's very easy to reach that dream outcome. They don't have to do basically no effort and sacrifice at all, and so you can also charge more for those kinds of products. And then when it comes to your offer as well, you have to understand the awareness stages, right? So there's basically 5 awareness stages, and I have made a bunch of videos about this already, so I'm not going to get too deep into this. However, your goal should always be to, with your offer, speak to unaware people, right? Unaware people are basically the biggest audience of people that you will find, and these people have no idea who you are, what problem they have, what product you sell, that they have to solve some kind of problem, whatever it is, they have no clue about anything. And so with your offer, you have to make it attractive for unaware people to buy. And at the end of the day, this is going to come down to adding in a lot of free gifts, adding in a lower upfront price, adding in bundles with different products that they need, all that kind of stuff that I've just described before. When it comes to the value equation, you need to make this as perfect as possible, so that actually unaware people, the biggest audience group there is going to convert. And if you manage to do this with your offer, and then you have something which is called a cold friendly offer, that's when you can actually go ahead and scale to insane numbers. And if you've realized that at some points, at some scale, your offer caps, if you've had that in the past, the problem was your offer only spoke to a very specific awareness type. And so if you go ahead and actually have an offer which is able to convert and actually attractive to unaware people, then that's the point where you actually scale like crazy. And at the end of the day, this is something which doesn't matter how good you are as a marketer, it's still something you need to split test, right? Even if it's the most thought through thing ever, this is going to come down to split testing. And so you just go ahead, go back, value equation, awareness stages, split test, and then run as many split tests as humanly possible, and then actually give them enough traffic so that you can test them. And so this is basically the whole process of making money with ecom. You get traffic and you convert that traffic. And obviously this has been a very simple breakdown of everything, but I still hope you can learn something from this video. Again, I wish you Merry Christmas, everyone watching this video, and have a beautiful day.